Midoriya was built for a story that never actually happened. Izuku Midoriya was designed to be a paragon hero, a moral ideal in the tradition of Superman or Captain America, a character meant to inspire, to embody what heroism should be, and to expose the flaws of the world around him simply by existing. But there's a fundamental problem. Paragon heroes only work in broken worlds, and My Hero Academia never lets its worlds break far enough. Midoriya isn't morally complex by design. He's written to be right. He's compassionate to a fault, self-sacrificing without hesitation, heroic even before he has a quirk, and inspiring enough that All Might entrusts him with the most powerful ability on the planet. On paper, Deku should have been a moral beacon, a living critique of hero society, a boy whose kindness exposes how far the system has drifted from real heroism. And early MHA sets this up really well. We see quirk discrimination, heroes treated like celebrities, rankings, sponsorships, branding, and public image management. The story constantly implies that true heroism is rare, and that the system rewards popularity more than virtue. All Might choosing Deku reinforces this idea. He doesn't pick the strongest or the flashiest. He picked a powerless boy who moves to save others without hesitation. This is a world where symbols matter, where a compassionate underdog should stand out, where a paragon could force society to re-examine itself. That's exactly the kind of environment that paragon heroes thrive in. Superman works because his world is morally compromised. He's surrounded by cynicism, political manipulation, and systems that reject his ideals. His challenge isn't just stopping the villains, it's deciding when the system deserves obedience and when it doesn't. Captain America shines because institutions constantly betray their own values. Governments, agencies, and even patriotism itself are challenged simply by his presence. Spider-Man isn't really a paragon, but even he thrives on contrast. The media hates him, the police mistrust him, the world refuses to reward him for doing the right thing, and that resistance is what gives his heroism weight. A paragon only matters when the world is darker than they are, and this is where MHA falters. Instead of a flawed society, Midoriya is surrounded by people who are already genuinely good. Class 1A is packed with kind, brave, selfless students. Pro heroes regularly risk their lives without hesitation, and even side characters display heroism that rivals Midoriya's. Where Superman has ideological foils, Deku has none. No authority forcing him to choose between law and justice, no system pushing him towards compromise, no worldview that meaningfully challenges his own. The institutions around him are rarely questioned. UA is portrayed as fundamentally good. The Hero Public Safety Commission is briefly criticized, then quietly sidelined. Rankings, celebrity culture, and merchandising exist, but Midoriya never really confronts these ideas. And the villains don't fill that gap either. Most are mass murderers, nihilists, or walking disasters. They aren't ideologies. You don't debate them. You stop them. They don't reveal something broken about the world. They just justify being defeated. Even Endeavor, who could have been Midoriya's ideological opposite, ambition versus altruism, pride versus compassion, never truly clashes with him. Endeavor's arc is personal, not systemic. It doesn't force Deku to question hero society or his role in it. As a result, his conflicts become shallow. His hardest choices are just variations of the same answer. Push harder, sacrifice more, save everyone no matter the cost. Those aren't moral dilemmas. They're endurance tests. And without contrast, Deku's defining traits lose their impact. If everyone is already heroic, what makes Deku special? Why does he deserve one for all more than dozens of other students who are just as brave, just as kind, and just as willing to risk everything? A paragon's purpose is to inspire a broken world to become better, but Deku never gets to do that, because the world around him doesn't really need that much fixing. Imagine a version of MHA where Deku's ideals are genuinely challenged, where hero work is ruled by bureaucracy and cover-ups, where villains emerge from real social failures, where institutions push back against compassion in the name of legality, image, or efficiency, where Deku faces choices like, if I follow the law, people die. If I break it, I undermine what heroes stand for. If I save this villain, the public turns against me. If I don't, I become someone I can't live with. Those are paragon conflicts. Those are the moments that turn a kind hero into a meaningful symbol. Instead, Deku exists in a world full of other good people, fighting villains too evil to converse with, within a system too functional to challenge. Deku in isolation isn't a bad character. He isn't boring because kindness is boring. He feels hollow because the story refuses to give him the darkness his light requires. A symbol needs contrast. A moral ideal needs resistance. And without them, even the best hero fades into the background. Deku didn't fail as a character. My Hero Academia fails to give him the story he was built for. So I'll leave you guys with this. What kind of world do you think Deku actually deserved? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.